Hey everybody, Yankee here. Blah, blah, blah. Day 6, yada, yada, yada. What are viewers carrying? Let's get started. All right, we're starting today with Guitar, Guns, and Ghosts. And he is from Pennsylvania, which is, like I said, one of those states that I always forget is a state. And he's carrying a Smith & Wesson 629. Now, this started off as the 629 in a 3-inch barrel, and he went and had it rebarreled. Now, a 629 with a 3-inch barrel is already pretty daggone big, but to go and have a 6-inch barrel put on it and have that as your carry gun, I'm not real sure what that says about your genitalia, but I'm sure it's not anything his wife is happy about. Although based on this picture, everything here makes a lot more sense if we assume he doesn't have a wife. But I love these guns. Little angel there on the grips, and for a guy with ghosts in his name, he's probably someone that actually believes in angels. So I actually kind of like that. It's kind of cool looking on the gun. But this is Guitars, Guns, and Ghosts from Pennsylvania with his rebarreled Smith & Wesson 629. All right, next we have John Heasley, who, by the way, is one of our resident troublemakers over on our nightly chat. And he is from Ohio, and he's showing us his Colt Python Combat Elite. Now, normally I would say, wow, when I see one of these guns, because I love them. But this guy, when he got this gun, he sent me pictures of it, bragging that he got it before me, just to rub it in my face. And I don't like it when people rub stuff I don't like it when people rub stuff like that in my face. Let's just say that. But I'm still showing it here because I am obviously the bigger person, even though he bragged at me. And I have gotten one since then, so I'm less mad now. Now, one thing about this picture here that does bother me is that he's got a Bic lighter holding the gun up, which means he probably smokes, because I can't think of any other reason to own a Bic lighter. And I always find it funny when someone says, hey, I worry about my safety and my well-being, I'm going to carry a gun, and then they proceed to smoke. I mean, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? But, you know, he is from Ohio, and, you know, you got to cope with that somehow, and it's probably either smoking or crack, one or the other. So I guess he's made the better decision here. And like I said, it is John Heasley from Ohio with his Colt Python Combat Elite. All right, next we have Alex from Oklahoma. When Alex gave me their name, they said, I go by Alex, which makes me think that's not really their name. Does this mean this is one of those things like, my name's really Patricia, but I go by Pat? You know, might be one of those situations. But either way, male or female, because Alex is one of those names that could go either way, they're carrying not one, but 2 Walther PDPs, a 4-inch and a 4.5-inch. Now, I'm assuming they don't carry these both at the same time because no one's vagina is that big or penis is that small that they would carry both of these. But, you know, maybe they do. I haven't seen every penis and vagina out there, and I haven't seen Alex's, that's for sure. So Alex is carrying either one of or both of these Walther PDPs out there every day in Oklahoma. And remember, we don't judge here, so that's just fine with us. All right, next we have Dan Johnson from Kansas. And I'm sorry, but if my name was Dan Johnson, I think I'd be carrying a Bren 10. But Dan is carrying a Colt 2.5-inch Python. This is an excellent choice in carry guns. This is a carry gun chosen by the brightest and the best of the gun community, and I know because this is what I carry every day. I even carry it with those same Altamont grips, and he told me in the email that he bought those grips because I recommended them. So with Dan here carrying the same gun I do with the same grips I do, I can only guess that Dan kind of wants to be me. But let me be the first person to tell Dan, you don't want to do that. I'm a big jittery ball of anxiety and autism, wrapped in a thin layer of depression and then rolled in a thick, chunky coating of laziness and apathy. So being me is no picnic. It's a good thing I'm pretty, or it would be hard to tolerate. All right, next we have Tom. And Tom says he's from the Czech Republic. Do they name people Tom in the Czech Republic? I'm not really sure. It's probably short for something weird. But he is carrying an AREC 0 2S. Now, this doesn't make sense to me, because Tom is from the Czech Republic. That's where they make CZs, and CZs are awesome. Now, I'm not saying the AREC 0 isn't awesome. I love the way it's set up. I love the manual of arms. But this gun's from Slovenia. And not only do you have to leave the Czech Republic to get to Slovenia, but you go across Austria, where Glocks are from. So it just strikes me as odd that he went all the way to Slovenia to get a gun when he lives right there in the home of the CZ. And his backup gun is Italian. It's a little old Beretta 71, old school there, the one he uses for home carry. Now, I guess he doesn't mean home defense here. I think he means actually the one he carries at home, which is odd to me because that means he's probably wearing pants every day at home. I don't wear pants at home every day, so I don't carry a gun at home, but that's what he's carrying. But like I said, his daily carry is a Slovenian AREC-02S, even though Tom lives in the Czech Republic. All right, next we have Justin from Virginia, and he is carrying his Glock 43X. But actually, this is not a Glock 43X because there's not anything left here that's actually from Glock except for the frame. And even the frame, he's a bastardized up here with that skateboard tape / tar paper that people love to put on their guns. I don't know why people do that. I hate that, but a lot of people do it, so they must have a reason. I don't really have a problem holding on to my guns. I guess some people like Justin are just very sweaty and greasy naturally, or maybe it's all the lubricants on his hands from giving hand jobs to truckers to pay for all these aftermarket accessories on his Glock. But like I said, this is Justin from Virginia, and his not a Glock 43X. All right, next we have Kevin, no last name please. That's how he put it in his name section there. Kevin, no last name please. And he is from Florida. And you know what that means, no last name from Florida? That means open warrants. And he's carrying his Ruger LC9S. He's even got a little laser on the front of it here. And this is one of a few LC9Ss we've shown so far. And I'm really happy to see these guns because I think they're very underrated carry guns. I think these are great options for people who don't want a big old honking gun, but still want something capable, reliable, etc. So let's wish Kevin the best on avoiding the popo while he's there in Florida carrying his Ruger LC9S. All right, next we got Tony from Florida. And anytime you meet anyone in Florida named Tony, that means they're retired mafia that have moved down there from New York. And he's carrying a Dan Wesson Valor V-Bob. These are amazing 1911s. I used to own one of these. I kind of regret selling this gun, but this is a really nice, high quality Dan Wesson 1911. Now I'm betting it's not easy to carry this gun every day in Florida, what with it being hot as balls there all the time and very humid. But sometimes you got to make sacrifices when you want to maintain respect and status within the family. And Tony in Florida is doing that, carrying his Dan Wesson Valor V-Bob. All right, next we have Eric S. from North Carolina, the second best Carolina in the United States. And he is the first person so far that is carrying a Chiappa Rhino 200 DS. Everyone knows I love these. They shoot from the bottom cylinder. The recoil management is amazing on these guns. And they look cool too. They look like something straight out of sci-fi. Now, I'm not sure what Eric has done to his grips here. He put a little sleeve over them for one, but is that duct tape? Why is there duct tape on here? And then he is from North Carolina. But that's another thing that gets me. It seems odd to me that someone from North Carolina is the first person so far in our videos that's smart enough to choose the Chiappa Rhino. So I have to assume that he just lucked into this, or he stole it, because it is North Carolina, and there are a lot of thieves in North Carolina. I once had all my cassette tapes stolen out of my car. I had one of those big suitcase things of cassette tapes, and I stayed in North Carolina for one night. Got every one of them stolen out of my car. Someone broke in, stole it, broke my back window, everything. So I don't like these people from North Carolina. They're shady. And I want my tapes back. All my Peter, Paul, and Mary and my Sheila E. was in there. So if you're the one that took my tapes, give them back. Otherwise, this is Eric S. from North Carolina, and he's carrying a Chiappa Rhino 200 DS. All right, now we have Rob Briley. Wouldn't you go by Bob if your last name was Briley? Wouldn't you want to be Bob Briley? I think you'd want that alliteration. But apparently Rob doesn't give a damn about that. I guess he's not a Stan Lee fan. And he is from Pennsylvania, and he's carrying a Smith & Wesson Model 60, which is an awesome little carry gun. It is a 5-shot 357 Magnum gun. And we're going to try to ignore the fact that those are 38 Special sitting up there. Those are not 357 Magnum. So maybe Rob is short for Roberta, and that's why she doesn't go by Bob. because going by Bob would be a little silly if your name was Roberta. But this is, like I said, Rob Briley from Pennsylvania bastardizing his Smith & Wesson Model 60 with 38 specials. Now, I'm never saying you can't shoot 38 special in a Model 60. You should do that whenever you practice if you like your wrists and your knuckles. But when you're carrying it, put the 357 mag in there. Come on, Bob, man up. Even if you are a Roberta, still, man up. Carry the 357 Magnum. But great choice in guns here. It's Rob in Pennsylvania carrying their Smith & Wesson Model 60. All right, there you have it. Part 6, probably only about 20 more to go. So hopefully part 7 will be coming soon if I don't slit my wrists before then.